Right, now we've got all that stuck down, locked in place, and start looking at everything around it, like the seat again, and where we're going to put the ECU, and where we're going to put the spaghetti, and a whole lot more, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the Beamer Brick project. Yes, the BMW K75 Cafe Racer project, and having got the frame, the subframe locked in place, we're going to be looking at fitting the seat panel itself. You may remember I came to somewhat of an impasse with the seat idea, and I did contemplate taking it to somebody who knows what they're doing, but even then, I don't like that back, and they're never going to be able to do anything about that without sewing and stuff. So, came up with another idea. Well, two actually. So I bought a chopping board. You'll notice it's actually almost perfectly curved to the back there. What on earth are you up to? Well, the problem was with the back of it particularly was actually securing the material to the seat pan, which of course was metal. So I thought, what about a wooden badger? Plastic cone board. So here's what I'm thinking. Pop it in the oven at gas mark 4 for half an hour and see what happens. Can we heat it up just enough to bend it without it disintegrating completely? I don't know, it's worth a go though, right? We have numerous sizes, and to start with we're going to be using the smallest, just to see if this is going to work at all. But I think this one is actually pretty perfect. Alright, and if not, that one's bigger. Not so much welding as melting. Here we go. But we're not going to be doing it on the bench, because we've done that before, haven't we? Well, I would kind of say that's working. One plastic seat pan completed. One slightly mullered glove, at least it's not my hand. Right, now we're going to work out where the seat is going to actually end up, the tail piece, which I think is there. So now we need to work out how much we need to chop off the front of this. Or, of course, if we were feeling really ambitious, we could bend it up at the front as well to kind of go up the tank. That might be quite nice. Guess we might as well try that, and then if it doesn't work, we just chop it, which we were going to do anyway. Back in a minute. Well, I've actually shifted everything back a little bit by an inch or so here. Which means we're basically going to crease it about here. Something like that. I rather like that. Cool. Turns out our phone is exactly the right size. So that's good. Turns out big old BMW batteries come in quite handy for weighing stuff down with a little bit of Gorilla Glue. Well, I think that kind of worked, glue and all. Better cover it. Good job we got a lot of this. A starting point. We have the sides kind of just stuck down. Oh, and more glue. And a large BMW battery. Well, there we go. Properly squished and glued. Stage 3, 4, I don't know. I've lost count. Just a few wrinkles to iron out. Don't have an iron. Gave up that lark years ago. Decades ago even. So watch and learn. Or maybe I'll learn and watch. I don't know. Excited as I was about my cutting board formed seat base, it's not going to work. It's just too hard for the staples to actually go in. Plan C. Luckily I do have a plan C. Wood. There you go. That's the idea. Or more precisely, that. And then that. A little sanding involved. Stage 1. That worked well. Nice and flat-ish. Gonna have to knock off these corners a little because these are gonna be where the frame is, and gonna have a screw coming out of the frame that fits through there. So yeah, gotta do that, but it's a start. Good enough for that. Next up, fitting the actual seat to the frame, locking that down. And once we've got that in place, we can work out what we're doing under the seat in terms of ECU, electrics, rear light, etc. It's all a matter of sequence of events. So we've marked that up. We're going to be using our favourite rivet nuts. If you don't know how to fit those, I've got a short video on exactly how they work and exactly how to do it. Right, as per the Kawasaki, that's the idea. So a flat head screwed into the frame, and the seat just clips into that, and the actual shape wants to be further out, so it holds the seat in place there. At least we'll have to sort something out at the back here. That then fits, and then hopefully that fits. Yeah, so as suspected, we've got to take a little bit out of the seat. They'll be a little bit flatter, but not a lot. Just got to take a bit out of that front edge. So now it's a question of seeing what kind of lines up where under here for rear lights and things, and some kind of rear mount for that, probably. I don't know, a little bit of suspension involved there, not really. And of course now we can cut here. Now it's all actually locked in place, and finish the seat pan. And the good news is our ECU will fit where we thought, and be nicely obscured from the side view, and our backlight mount will still work off the original mounts that we had decided on, there and there. Although maybe we could use these, in which case it's not attached to the seat and you don't have to unplug it every time you take the seat off. I like that idea better. We'll work on that. So I'm thinking at the back here, we used a bit of aluminum tube. I think this is about the right size. Right, and we basically hang it under these, and then that'll clip in to that groove there on the rubber mount. We just cut a section out. That'll work. And as you can see, plan B now doesn't fit. And I am going to pursue this. I'm going to see if somebody can actually cover this, because I quite like it. So we need to tweak that front so it bends up a little bit sooner. It's close when it's all sat down. It's close. So just a little bit of tweaking. Suitably melted and adjusted. And likewise, this has also been adjusted on those front corners, so that sits nice and flat now, we can hopefully finish that one off, because that will be the same as we did on the Gutsi. Nice and simple, hopefully, with staples. I know it's not pretty, but if you look at your factory one, it ain't either. It's pretty from the top. This one we're going to take to a professional. And then there's the electrics and what to do with all that junk. And I promise no more arbitrary clips of John Travolta. What? Olivia Newton-John? Behave. Right, we did manage to squeeze this plug intact through there without taking the steering lock off. It's not easy, obviously it's that way round with the big edge and the big side. Obviously you have to take this out. That in itself is a real fiddle, so you have to obviously disconnect it, get that out of the way as far as you can, and then pull it out this way, so back first. So we now have our lunchbox speedo plug ready to go into the tenet system. Don't know where we're going to put it. Not quite sure where all this stuff's going to go. There's a lot of it. Still, talking of lunchboxes, a slight improvement on the cardboard affair, only marginally. It's actually a ready-made meal box. I think we can get away with that. Yeah. A little bit there. I don't think that's a problem. I guess we could slope it at the back if we needed to. It's a good starting point anyway. Trouble is, that's where we were going to put the ECU. Too many bloody electrics. Another thought was to use the bottom of the original airbox and dump them all in there. Got a load of space here, but it's right on top of the engine, which is, I think, a great idea. Trouble with that, although obviously it fits beautifully, it's a long way down, and half of it's taken up with transmission. And I don't want to put the top on, because that kind of look horrible, I think. So I'm leaning towards this, which we can probably... Oh yeah, we can extend forward quite a lot. That's going to work. That's what we need to do. That. Well, there's possibly enough room for all the junk in the box. But I've got another idea. Retro step. There is, of course, another solution to this. BMW's very own, the original box. So that sits there. Could we cover it up with something? I don't know. It's pretty much in the same place as we were talking about. It's obviously deeper because it comes down here. So I'm thinking something across there, like Mr. Slatterini suggested. And we've still got our ECU there. So something like one of these with varying numbers of holes potentially. And there's a cardboard mock-up. And actually I had this kicking around. Yeah, I think it's left over from the Suzuki. I never put it in the end. I can't remember. Anyway, I think I like the concept. Prototype number 1. One rubber mount. Well, that's the general idea, but actually it's a bit low, which is good because we've got some smaller stuff for this. Trouble is, the smaller piece is too small for that, right? Because it's got to fit inside there, and it doesn't. Anyway, then I realised we've probably got enough drop on this rubber bung anyway. So I just happen to have this lying around, which has been modified, obviously, to fit in there. like so. And that's where our rubber bung goes. No doubt it'll be just too high. We'll see. And there we have it, perfect height. So we just got to sort out the front end now. But that is that's spot on. Yeah, there you go. Exactly the right height. Okay, so we've cut our cross member there, and it had to be spot on. I actually cut it by hand. It's slightly less messy than machine. It has to be spot on because there's your nut. So that's going to be right on the edge here, if it works at all. I don't know. And onto that, we could always glue it, I suppose. Anyway, onto that, we're then going to, I think it's going to be too high. Anyway, we're going to try. And onto that, we are actually going to use the factory ECU holder. I'm going to cut that end piece out. And again, I cut it out using a handsaw, which is altogether cleaner and tidier. So that's going to fit there. We've got to measure, get it exactly in the right place, and then work out how we're going to fit it. So, about there. Now, the other problem is, of course, this is too wide. So we're going to have to take about 10mm off each side, which is a lot. Not sure this is going to work after all. Well, I managed to lower it by, I think, the required amount, which is basically the height of the nut, by cutting out these little inserts. So that now fits there. And I think, with any luck, that'll line up now. Kind of looks like it will. And there it is. We've just got to work out how to actually fit it to the frame. But wait, I have another idea. Yes. We're almost there. I have another cunning plan. Spacers. That's better. I have another cunning plan. We can probably put a washer in there anyway. But I found these when I was looking for spacers, and they're about the same height. They're an M6. So we could bolt those through there. It's going to work. But I've had an even better idea. Why is it that the better ideas come last? It'd save a lot of wasted metal if they came first. I guess because you look at stuff and you think, nah, I can do better than that. Stage 1. And then stage 2, which will either mount that side or this side if we need a little bit of extra length. This side, as you can see, that's where it's going to go. So obviously we need, talking of extra length, we need a bit of extra length in the material itself, but we got that. We just need to cut that down a little bit. And there it is. Ta-da! How cool is that? Fits perfectly. With room to spare. Yeah, so we won't be needing any of that for a while. Yeah, and on that note, I think it's time to call it a day. Quit while you're ahead. So give the video a thumbs up if it was any good, and subscribe down here if you haven't already. And of course, encourage others to watch my lunacy.